You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's America's Got Talent After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's America's Got Talent After Show.
You take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life. The facts of life. Hello and welcome to another episode of AfterBuzz TV's The Facts of Life. Tonight,
right.
Mrs. Garrett really got into it with Joe.
Wait till you hear what Tootie did tonight on AfterBuzz.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Three's Company AfterBuzz. You are watching AfterBuzz TV's America's Got Laverne and Shirley.
This week on Too Close for Comfort. What was the guy that was the... Who was that?
Jim J. Bullock?
Oh, yeah, Ted Knight. He was.
Oh, Ted Knight. But Jim J. Bullock was like, oh.
He was good. Loved him.
Welcome to I Love 80s Sitcoms. I am your host, Daniel Weiss, and you are watching AfterBuzz TV's America's Got Talent. We are back after a couple weeks of hiatus, you might say, because there were some reruns and best ofs. While we were gone, Corey Taki got deported back to Japan, and Kevin John's mind got wiped and replaced with a banana. It's unfortunate, but the fortunate part is we are joined by the lovely and talented, the one and only, John Travolta once called her the wickedly talented Angela Hoover.
Thank you. Thanks
so much for
Daniel.
joining us
Oh, I'm
again.
so happy. It's just you and me again. Well, we were never,
Well,
wasn't ever just you and I,
Just
but for
you
the
and
first
us,
time.
period.
Yeah,
The way it should be.
the way it is. Yes,
It is.
Exactly.
We let's go into it a little bit.
Thanks
and then
for
we
having
can
me.
sidetrack. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you so
sure.
much. This
This-
is great to have you. We're
This was a great one. This was a great
This was
show,
a good
I thought.
one. Yes,
Yeah.
because they got rid of all of the acts that were mediocre, mostly, and they just got straight into it. Tonight was the first of the Vegas showcase.
Yes, this is where it starts getting intense. This is where you're in Vegas in a room sitting there for 8 to 12 hours wondering your fate. Whether you just did this for nothing or whether you're going forward.
Yes.
No, it's all good. And anybody that goes out there and tries to do something should be applauded because it's more than other people in the basement are doing that are
Exactly.
being negative, huh?
Sitting on the couch watching the people saying, that was terrible, I could do better.
Exactly. All
but I won't."
negative.
Well, tell us
yeah.
a little bit before we get into it. We
Yeah.
were talking a little bit. What is that like? You were in Vegas. You
Right.
were waiting for your outcome. And
Yeah.
they did a little differently this year because this year they went straight to some of the people before they even went to Vegas and told them that they got through to the live shows in New York.
Yes, and I'm going to correct myself. I think it is similar, but I wasn't in that part where I had to perform again. I didn't have to perform in Vegas. Luckily, I did a lot of waiting around, and then I found out I was going to Radio City Music Hall. But yeah, so there's 3 categories. Basically, everybody goes that got pushed through to Vegas, and some people are going to sit around the whole weekend and then go home at the end of the weekend. Some people are going to have to perform one more time and then not know till the end of the weekend. And then the other people are going to have to just be pushed behind a building, back through the backstage. You don't know where you're going. And then you're just pushed out onto the stage with the judges. And then right then and there, they tell you you are going through to Radio City Music Hall. So you're in 3 categories. You don't know where you are till the very end.
Right. So you're there just sweating the whole time.
It is.
What am I
And
going to do?
Some
What
people
am
have
I?
heard something. Some people haven't, and you really are. Sometimes I think when you're watching the show, you think, oh God, people are hugging, and oh, are you okay? It looks really fake. And yes, I guess there are people that maybe aren't as genuine as others, but really, you do make connections with these people in your category, and even if you weren't close in the beginning, you build certain relationships with people, and it is tough to see them sitting there without any kind of idea of what's happening. It's sad. So yeah, the support is good though
That's great.
and needed during this.
Little families.
Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
that's good. Well, so we'll go into it and then we can go off a little bit here and
Sure.
there.
It's a 4-hour show. We
It
have
is,
a little
yes.
time.
So strap in, get some coffee, donuts, coffee
Yep, get a
donuts.
full, large grande coffee. What time is it? 11? Yeah. So
It is now 7:30 on Wednesday. So we started with having
Yeah.
the acts that went straight through. They had the judges actually go up to them.
yes,
when they were
we
either-
didn't get that.
Yeah, I know. Wouldn't it be great to just be home,
Yes.
putting your kid to bed, and then
Exactly.
the door opens and it's Heidi, and she goes, "Hello,
Hello, Angela. I just want to tell you, you went through. You were very funny. I really liked you.
I watched you. You put your kid to bed. You read a story. You gave some milk.
You live in the house and you're going through.
You're a
yes.
woman."
You know,
She
You're
just
a
likes to
woman?
tell it what she sees. So yeah, you didn't get any of that. So they were just, some of them were rehearsing. Some
Yep.
of them were actually performing. Some of them were just at home. And the
Right.
judges came in and said, "You're going straight through." So we had Dan Nutterman went straight through.
Great,
Act 2,
loved him.
He was great, stand-up comedian. Act 2, singing duo, went
Yep.
straight through. Emil and
Daryl? Yeah.
I believe
They
they
did-
were
they played the cellos.
The cellos,
Yeah,
the dueling
okay.
cellos, which was awesome.
Yep.
Blue Journey, which
Yes,
was the
the
silhouette dance,
Yes,
which was really
uh-huh.
cool. I was interested to see what they're going to do next, but I'm going to have to wait a little
Right.
longer for that. We had David and Lehman go through. They were a magic duo.
Right. Okay.
They
David
were great.
Lehman.
Again, I wanted to see some more, and I will. Heart dance teams.
Yep.
They went straight through.
Dom the Bombs. Triple
threat.
The 3 adorable.
They were amazing.
Are they triplets?
They are triplets.
Yeah. They're sweet. They're magnetic. They're brave.
They're very
Those
brave. I actually got
Yeah.
to see them. We went to the live show that they were at.
Oh, you did?
When they first performed, and they were adorable. And we watched it back, and it wasn't as good watching it on TV as
Yeah.
it was, which is really interesting.
Yeah. Exactly.
I should talk completely into the microphone.
You can't. You really can't match that exuberance that you get from a live audience. It just does not. No matter what,
Oh,
even with
absolutely.
all of the high tech stuff, it doesn't translate quite the same.
Oh,
but,
bet, yeah. So we had them, and then lastly, Jayton Requalton. I'm sure I said that
I think
perfect.
his name's Jonathan. Janene Rakali.
It's we
I'm
had
very sorry.
Shanae.
I'm so sorry. Jonathan, right?
Did you have Jonathan? I had.
Riquelme-
I can't read my own writing.
Who was that?
Somebody very talented, and they are going straight
Okay,
through.
I apologize.
Oh, I
Believe me,
do
they
too.
were going through these people like that. We were just
Yeah, it was just
note taking.
very quick. I'm sure somebody on
Somebody
YouTube
will
will tell
correct
us
us.
and say, you
Okay.
guys are dumb, and I will agree that I am.
That's right.
So we went straight into the groupings,
Yeah.
and we had the magic group first,
Yes.
which I was very excited about because I like
You
magic.
love magic.
I do
yes.
love magic.
You and Howard. Howard's also
Me and
a big
Howard.
magic fan.
We are big Maggies. We had Mike Super,
Super,
excuse
right.
me. I can't read.
The Mystifier.
The Mystifier.
Right.
And his pal Desmond,
Desmond.
his imaginary friend, although he wouldn't say that.
But
His
did you like him? Did you
helper.
enjoy watching him?
I
since you
did.
like magic?
I like it. I think everyone, a gimmick is good, especially in a day where we've seen everybody go, what you're about to see is going to mystify you. I have here 3 elephants that are going to disappear.
You should try out.
I should. Well, what I'm going to do is my talent is I can do magic openings.
Oh, okay.
I can't do magic,
Right.
but I can come out and go, what you're about to see is going to blow your mind.
That's
My name.
captivating. Just that alone.
Yeah.
I'm
See, just
interested.
that. What you're about to see is going to be mystifying and something you have never seen. It is what some people might say a brain crazy.
What? I noticed your accent went
Chris
through
Angel.
3 variations. Oh, it was
All
Chris
Angel.
Angel.
The first one.
All of a sudden, you're like, it was really strong. Then it's gonna be crazy.
Well,
Okay.
see, they're different openings.
Oh,
See, the
right.
first one was the big Lance Burton opening.
Right.
Then I had the Chris Angel opening.
Okay.
And then my third one is yet to be seen.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to take us off
Oh,
track.
no,
but-
it's totally
But
fine.
you liked
I did
Mike
for a while.
super. I did too. I thought he had charisma, and I just enjoyed watching him. I mean, I like magic. I'm not a crazy magic fan, but I enjoyed watching what he was doing, and I wanted to see what was going to happen.
It was very cool. He had Howie come on stage, and he had 2 chalkboards,
Right.
put some chalk in the middle, and then closed it. Had Howie think of somebody. He came out and said the name, which I thought was cool. I've seen
Yeah.
things like that before, but not exactly like that.
Right.
But then he had a zodiac calendar, which had the number Howard.
Which has been done like a million times.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, everybody
have-
does a zodiac calendar with 2 chalkboards.
I have 3 zodiac calendars on my
I know
phone.
you were doing it while
on
we
my
were
back.
watching the show. I was
Right.
like amazed.
Yeah, I have a tattoo of a zodiac calendar on my back,
Right.
which is, unorthodox.
You're the leader in zodiac calendar.
I am. People know me. After him, we had Psycho
boy.
Jack, which
Oh,
terrified me.
gave me the heebie-jeebies.
And I'll admit, I don't remember him. I don't know if maybe
Which
he
is
wore a
weird.
different mask. Because how do you
It's so
forget
weird,
Psycho
like,
Jack?
I don't remember the guy that was from a horror film
Yeah.
before.
The guy that haunts my dreams.
I think I,
don't
may have
remember
missed
him.
an episode, but yeah, I don't remember. What did he do on this show?
On-
he did the blades.
Yeah, he
through the-
came out. He had this weird, realistic-looking mask on.
Yeah.
And he did the blade trick, which I thought could have been cool because it was a variation of we put a woman in the box, we slide the box. This one, he actually opened up the box
Yeah,
sides.
right.
So you can see that she wasn't in there, which was cool, except the fact that the blades got stuck. The trick did not work. He left. They immediately called him back.
Yeah,
And they told him he's going
that's
home.
hard.
And we don't know his expression because he was wearing a mask.
That's true. That's a good point.
But
That's
so
a
he
good
might have been
point,
like,
Daniel.
yeah, good.
Sorry about that.
But so that was really interesting.
Psycho
That was
Jack.
another thing, the fact that they were calling some people back right away and telling them if they went through or not.
Yeah.
Psycho Jack did not go through.
He didn't go through.
Oh, well.
Then we have
Yes,
Oh,
please.
Franklin Saint, right? Another energy
Yes.
guy like Mike Super. I thought was pretty clean and pretty good. I liked him. Different energy, a little lower energy than the first guy and then the next guy, but yeah, I thought he was good. Did you enjoy him?
I loved it. I thought
Yeah.
it was great because to me, again, I've seen so much magic that a lot of it is, I don't know exactly how you're doing it, but I know that you're doing it
Yeah.
fake.
Now he
That
was
it's
the
an
one with the
illusion.
can, right?
He was
The
the one with
soda
the can. He had a plastic bottle that with his mind seemingly he was crushing, which was cool.
Right.
But then he brought out a soda can, which was already crushed. He kept pouring it upside down and nothing
Nothing was
came
coming
out.
out, right.
And then just using his mind, apparently, he fixed it so it was a full can. And then what really amazed me is he put his hand over it and it was closed. It was a new can. And he cracked it open and he poured it out. So to me, that's magic I can see.
Right.
Whether it's an illusion or not, I don't know how he did it. And that was getting this. I saw him move his hand and it was new. That was awesome.
I thought it was awesome too. And
Yes.
I liked was it Matt Franco?
Yes.
Really-
James's brother.
James's
And Dave?
younger brother. He was in the movie. What's the last one they did about Armageddon? No. I thought he was
yes.
great. I'm getting too close to the mic. I thought this guy, he's smooth, he has charisma, he has likability, and I guess now the question is, are the cards enough?
Right.
That's what Howard's argument was.
Exactly. He did a really cool trick, which was he took a card, he had Mel B only look at it, and then he had Howie think about it. He put some cards out and he made a picture of Howie holding that card, which I thought was really cool. But again, like Howard said, is it going to translate to Radio City Music Hall? You've been there. You know how huge it is in the stage.
Yes,
And-
it's ginormous.
I'll bet.
It is, so, especially when you're standing there by yourself. I mean, it is not only the stage, but it's even the Pantages. I was telling you earlier, the first audition where I was at the Pantages, I really did feel like I was in my bedroom. I felt very comfortable and relaxed. I mean, yes, I had a little nervousness before I got on stage, but basically, I felt comfortable. When you're stepping out to Radio City Music Hall, I mean, it is completely different. At least in my experience, it was. It's overwhelming. It really is.
I'll bet.
Yeah.
'Cause just to go out there, I've been in front of the most I've done I do improv, and the most I've done is 1,500 people, and that was overwhelming. So I can't imagine doing Pantages or Radio City Music Hall.
It's just, but the thing is, Collins, didn't he do some card? Did he do some cards?
He did.
It's all blur now.
Right.
My memory of last year, but.
Oh, but yeah, he did some card tricks, but then as he went along, he got bigger and he built more things. So that's
maybe
the thing.
He will do that if he
can
gets
Matt
through.
do that?
Maybe he'll build some stuff into it. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, not to just as another example, like you do have to kind of adjust because they'll sort of they like to label you and put you in, this is the mom with the 2 kids and she's the impressionist, and then you sort of have to build that out and kind of become what they're calling you or what they're branding you. You can't say, well, I'm just gonna do my regular comedy now. So you kind of have to be yourself and blend that with what they're trying to push you as, without alienating who you are, if that makes sense.
It does.
Kind of have to play the game a little bit, but just don't abandon, what your values are.
And I apologize for the 3 people out there that might have tuned in and been like, yes, I know her name's Angela Hoover, but were you a finalist or semi-finalist? What was the technical semi-finalist last year? Type 20 last year. Billed as an impressionist, but I still viewed you more as a stand-up / impressionist.
Yeah.
So just for anyone out there the one person out there that might have been confused.
The 2 of you that,
that didn't know and haven't seen the billboards.
For
all
Angela,
over the buses driving by. I apologize for making it more awkward than it had to be. Let's move on. That was the magic.
Daniel.
Yeah, no problem. That's what I'm here for, making people awkward.
Speaking of awkward, no. John and Andrew, the salsa dancing duo.
Yes, we're now onto the dancing.
How can you not love them? They were great. Electric, yeah. And so, how do you feel when you're watching them? Are you interested in what they're doing? Are you more interested because there's 2 men than you would be if there was a man and a woman dancing? I think that's what Howie's point was.
Right. I'll tell you honestly, when I hear salsa dancing, I think, okay, great, more dancing, salsa. There's no way for salsa.
You're like, I've already seen this. Yeah.
Right. Well, I feel like there's a cap on certain things. Like, even the best salsa dancer still isn't the best talent performer, period. And I forgot what they did last time. I remembered them, but I didn't remember exactly their dance.
They did salsa.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Chips?
Chips and guacamole.
Great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So I didn't exactly remember it. And then watching them, I said the same thing. I was like, okay, it's salsa.
Yeah.
Is there a way to get better? But they did it in a way I've never seen before.
Yeah.
They were quick. They were really fast. And I believe it was Andrew of the John and Andrew. I have a 50-50 shot of being right. Who is very flamboyant in these faces. And
at the end, he was like,
and here's a little
the
smirk
raised
to the
eyebrow.
camera. I will watch him forever.
Right.
So that to me captures it. And I honestly don't feel one way or another that they're both guys. To me, it didn't feel awkward either time I saw them. So it doesn't matter. Guys, I'm not going to say, because they're 2 guys.
Yeah.
Because I feel like salsa dancing is salsa dancing.
Yeah.
Dancing is dancing.
Sure.
I just think they were entertaining.
It is interesting. It's very entertaining. I can't wait to see. I hope that did they make it through? Yes, they did. Make
they
it through.
came back
they did. Okay,
right
they
away, and the
back.
judges said, congratulations, you're going on to New York.
Okay, so that's very exciting. I can't wait to see. They're going to ramp it up a notch.
Oh, right.
Too.
They're going to do it straight up, and his faces are going to get wackier.
If I come back, we will have to wear their outfits. Because
absolutely.
I did like that emerald green they were wearing tonight. That was
we're going to wear their onesies.
I'm a winter. Do you know what you are? I think you're like a
I'm a warm autumn.
Yeah, you're a warm autumn, spring, warm autumn. Okay.
Yeah. Well, Carol is taking care of the costume. She's our wardrobe / costumer, I will say.
Okay, costumer.
So, yeah. Costumer. It's a real thing. So Carol is taking care of that. Make sure she has your sizes.
Okay,
after the show, and we will get on that.
Great. I'll have the limo driver give it to her.
Great. Great. Okay. Yours or ours? Because Carlos is our limo driver. I can't remember.
I can't remember. I think
he met
Sue.
you.
I think this is the person that drove me here.
Okay, great. Yeah, Sue. She's a replacement.
Right.
Not as good. Carlos is better. But moving on. So we didn't even see John and Andrew yet, but we talked about them. So they're great.
We love them.
Sean and Luke, they were tap dancers. They did a New York medley. I thought they were okay.
They were a hard follow after John and Andrew, for
Yes.
sure. Yeah. It's funny because, it sounds so crazy, and I hate to critique anybody because, being a contestant, I feel like, I want to support everybody. But there is something that it's within seconds that you're like, there's something.
Right.
I don't know what it was. They were great dancers, but I think they needed a little more polish. Whereas when you're watching John and Andrew, it seemed flawless to me.
Right. Yeah, I think the difference is with John and Andrew, you can say, I'm going to put you in a show now, and they could do it. Whereas
Sean and Luke,
Luke, they need more work
Yeah,
and
a little
rehearsal.
more.
So I feel like that's the difference.
Yeah.
Do you cut them some slack because it's the earlier auditions, or do you say you have to be ready now
Right.
and then get even better from there? I guess that's the big difference. So we had them, and then we moved on to a Solto and Sigalov.
Yes, right. Insigilor.
In Sigalov.
It's my writing is so horribly messy. Apparently I can't write with my hand anymore. I'm using my computer all the time. The street performer.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, he did the kind of robot, and I don't know if they cut it short on the show or if his was short. It didn't seem very long.
No.
It seemed like 30 seconds of dance.
Right. Oh, and then we had the Dragon House, the
Yes.
agents in the black suits that
Yes.
were doing the.
Yeah, the whole.
Now, what did you think of them?
I thought they were really good,
Yeah.
but it felt almost the same as last time, as their first audition. So I just felt, okay, it's good, but is this it? Are they going to come back again? And it's the same thing. So.
I think too with the dancers, it's like you have to have so much velocity coming out of you to entertain a
Right.
crowd at this level now. That if you're not beaming, I think that it just, I don't know, you just see it very easily, and I feel like I don't think they were, like, I keep going back to John and Andrew because I just think they were so dynamic. So
Right. It was
that's
very
what-
different.
yeah.
Well, and like last year, not to compare as
Yeah.
much, but I felt that, great. Now I'm blanking on his name.
Which, oh.
Kenichi.
Kenichi, yeah.
Sorry. Kenichi, the very first audition, I thought this was great.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to do something else, or is he just going to do the pop and lock thing? And then he went his next time and just blew us all away.
Yeah.
I felt like, his first one was good, but the other one was miles above that.
Exactly. Yeah,
so you
he
kind of
just
have
kept-
to do that. If you come back your second audition and it feels the same, why do I want to
Yeah.
give you a third chance?
And it's a shame because I think the Dragon House, the agents, I thought they were, they were great, and I loved that slow run they did. But I was telling them, like, I wish they would have done something fast right after that.
Right,
Like, just
exactly.
did that thing, and then
There was no payoff.
you can tell I have a lot of dance choreography.
Oh yeah, the thing. They did the
verbology,
thing.
yeah.
Well, I felt like the last I'll say about them is I felt like they came out with a good second time. Like their first one was good enough for their second audition.
Right.
The problem is they did the same thing for their second audition.
And that's the trick, because I remember when I was deciding like what impressions I only had, I think 4 or 5 impressions that I could do at the time. And I was saying, gosh, should I learn a few new ones because I need to save some? And then someone's like, no, you got to front load it and do everything you can, because if you don't get through. And so it's this kind of this catch-22 of like, what
Right.
do you save and what do you throw out there? And I think I did like 3 on my top, and then I did a new one,
Right.
the Kristen Chenoweth.
I think that's
But,
really smart. And I think, speaking of segues,
Yes. Speaking of Kristen,
speaking of
Maria's
Kristen,
new book.
Maria's new book is out. It is the Every Girl's Guide to Diet and Fitness. And I got to tell you, as an every girl myself, this has really helped me maintain the 165 pounds that I have standing at 6'2". I'm skinny. This is a great book, and you can find it in most places where you buy things. So I suggest checking it out. I think it's a great read.
Maria is going to be so happy
Oh, yeah.
about that plug.
Well, she's going to call me because we talk every night on the phone.
Right.
And while I'm laying on the floor
I
twirling.
kept telling her, can you just wait until we're done? And then
She
we'll
has
both
to
sign
gab.
autographs, but I
Right.
just couldn't do it.
Right.
before
Well,
I
she's a
got
big
in.
fan of yours.
Yeah, she knows exactly who I am. And
Oh, yeah.
she's totally aware of me.
Well, she has your poster on her
She
wall.
has my poster.
So
Right.
she was just like, oh, I really want to meet Angela. And I said, just Maria,
Chill.
girlfriend. I call her Marmar.
Right.
I said, Marmar, just, take a chillax pill.
Relax. Yeah.
Relax. Maybe eat an apple, hold a bag, just relax, and I'll hook you up.
Right.
So she's really going to be happy about
Okay,
the
good.
way we plugged her book.
Oh, good. Yeah.
But it actually is a really good book with really good tips.
I've actually seen her seriously be interviewed about this book, and it's funny because when someone's always in the host role, you don't always get a real sense of them because they're always plugging everything else and everybody
Right.
else. But she was hilarious when they were interviewing her. She's
Oh,
very
she's great.
real, and I love how she talks about like if she used to eat like a whole pizza, or she'd have like 6 slices when she would sit down. So she didn't go from like 6 slices to like a handful of almonds. I went from 6 slices to having 5 slices, and then I went to having 4. And she just kind of
Right.
went down little by little.
Yeah,
Don't ever make a huge change because
No.
you won't be able to keep it.
I won't. I plan
You-
not to. Yes, I think it's great, and I'm not just saying that because I have to, because I do have to.
Right.
Moving on. we
Moving
had
on.
the kid singers.
The kids singers, they were so good tonight. I cry a lot because, I have 2 kids, and it's making me cry when I see these kids. They're so
Yes.
brave.
I have no kids, and I thought I know kids.
Because
and it
you
making
are
me
a
cry.
kid.
I am a kid at heart.
Did he make you cry?
It making me cry.
Now we go in Italian.
Yes, we
Yeah.
are. I don't know what we started at, but we are Italian now. We started really strong.
Oh, man.
With Quantavious Jackson, and I think I got that pretty close to Jackson. Belt it.
Yeah.
He was fantastic. He came out and he sang a Michael Jackson song. I loved it.
It was fantastic, and he's just got it all. And if I was his age backstage looking at the monitor, I would have wanted to kill myself after I saw him sing. I know they're all trying to be good, but I would just be like,
great.
what?
Well, the
That
fun-
cannot be. But they were all like that. But yeah, he was amazing.
It was incredible. And I will say, I'm going to tease just a little bit. One of the acts that was getting the most nervous from watching him and saying he was so good probably had the best act of the night. And I will get to that in a minute. I'll get to it right now. I feel like that was Mara. She was very nervous. She was the last
Mara.
of the kid singers, Glasses.
Oh,
And
yes.
she sang.
She has this really
Yeah.
deep voice. She's just, I want to just squeeze her to death. And hug her, and she's adorable.
She was
and then She has that
incredible.
voice of like a 50-year-old.
Right. She has one of those voices where I always think of kid acts as, are they good because they're kids being able to do it or
Yeah.
what? And I feel like she blows away 80% of the adult singers
Yeah.
that are out there.
She has a nice quality, like a unique quality to her voice. Because I feel like in a lot of singing competitions, when it comes to kids, whoever's coaching them, a lot of times are telling them to oversing. And
Yes.
they're oversinging the entire thing. And they start out and they're like, ah, and you're just like, oh my God, give us a little break. Let's ebb and flow.
Right. Let's take it down
Let's
just a
take
notch.
it down. Yes. And so when I see somebody that just has a different quality or that isn't afraid to end on a lighter note, it's like I just feel like
Right. Yeah, I thought she was great. And like I said, she was
was.
the end of the kid singer, so we'll go back. I just wanted to
She's
note that
charming,
right
yeah.
away. She was the most nervous watching and just thinking he's so much better than me, and she just blew it away. So let's go back a bit to
Okay.
let's go to Julia Goodwin, who-
singer-songwriter.
singer-songwriter, 15 going on 27.
And she the one that had her dad playing the piano.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay.
She was, what'd you think?
I thought she also had a really nice tone to her voice. I thought she used it well. I really loved listening to her. I feel I told you that it's almost seemed like maybe because she's a songwriter, she's used to sitting at a piano. This was my guess, because there was a slight bit of maybe she wasn't sure what to do with herself standing there. I
Right.
felt that
A little
as
robotic.
a little bit. Yeah, I think, and that's something that can be learned. But again, I loved that she didn't oversing. She didn't sing it like a typical pop singer would sing. She kind of did her own thing, which I really appreciated and respected. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. I didn't love it.
Yeah.
When you sandwich her in between the two, I don't think she has a chance, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And it is a competition. So you
Right.
do have to think of it that way, especially because what it seems like this year and they've done in past years is it's not that she's going against everyone else. It's not that she's going against Dragon House or Psycho Jack, who's not there anymore, or whoever. She's going against the singers. So if you put the category, they only have
At this point,
X.
she is going against the singers.
right,
Yeah.
just right now I'm saying in
Right.
this part.
Yep.
When you put her with Quantavious and Mara, I'm sorry, but she doesn't stand a chance. And also, after her, we had Grace Ann, who is more of an operatic
Right.
singer. Her mom scared me a little bit with the, you're going to do great, and if you don't, I will crush you.
She said, all you have to do is go do a great job. And I was like,
That's
that's,
all you have
a
to do.
little bit of pressure. Like, you want to just say, have fun, or,
Right.
you know.
Do
Yeah.
the best you feel like doing.
Right. Just go have fun. I mean, it sounds very cliche, but when people say that to you, you're like, oh, yeah, I forgot, because it does get intense. That's
Right.
really intense right there, right before Radio City Music Hall, especially for the, you know, for everybody,
Right.
really, not even for the kids. And sometimes I think it's worse as you get older because you're thinking, gosh, you know, I'm this age and nothing's really kicked in, and this is my chance to kind of take a leap, you know, and to the next level, and I don't know if I'll get the chance to do this again, type thing. So,
Right. Yeah, well, I'm sure the kids are thinking, oh, if I win, I can buy more Frozen toys. And,
right.
you know, some of the other people are thinking, if I win, I
Another
can eat.
Elsa cape.
Right. Well, you need that. Anna can't have her own cape.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Just look. Let's
All
just
right.
let it
I know.
go.
I can't.
Let
Okay.
it
I hear that all day long.
Me too. Just because I'm a child. After that category, we had the category that I think we both relate to more. You more than myself. We had the comedians come out,
Woo!
and I was very happy because I love comedy in general, and I was very happy to see Derek Santos come out.
Yes, he was funny.
He was. I loved him at his first audition.
When they're funny, like I love when they're okay. There's the put on awkwardness that people put on and they're not really awkward, and then there's the people that are actually have a little bit of awkwardness.
Right.
And when it's exacerbated by no audience, it makes me laugh even harder. And so, I mean, I love Howie's laugh. It just cracks me up, and I feel like I have more of a sense of humor like Howie, but I laughed at all of his jokes with with no audience and anything. I thought he was hysterical. Like, I love when he whispered whatever that was that he
Yeah,
whispered.
he said
Like your career or something, or
oh yeah, he said something like that. Yeah, I forgot what he said, but he did a whisper.
it was a long
thing.
time ago that we
Yeah,
watched
it
the
was
show.
so
it was
long
like
ago.
40 minutes ago.
It's
Anyway,
tough.
yes, we both
Yes.
love Derek Santos.
He's
right?
great. Well, I
Yeah.
said this about last time too. Is his first audition? I felt that he made it through to the next round before he even started his act. They showed a little bit tonight, but they just were even talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
They said, do you have a girlfriend? He said, yes, she's here. They said, oh, really? He said, yes, somewhere. I'm still looking for her.
Right.
I'm like, you're already making jokes that
Yeah.
are funnier than a lot
Smart.
of the other people. You're already going on. Then he made jokes, and I loved it. And his jokes are cheesy, schmaltzy. They're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I love it. He kind of reminds me of Emo Phillips a little bit. Just his awkwardness.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone else knows any references from the 80s, you'll know him. He's great. So after him, we had Wendy Liebman, which
Yes.
you know of her. You're
Yeah,
familiar
she's
with
been doing
her.
comedy for a long
I've
time.
heard of her.
Very funny.
Yes.
Solid comedian. I mean, everybody knows her. And I actually was shocked to see that she was on the show. I was like, Wendy Liebman, oh my goodness. So I've been looking for her first audition. Did you see her first audition?
I did, yes.
I haven't been able to find it on
Oh, really?
YouTube because I love her and I thought I want to see it. But yeah. I thought, is there something?
Oh, no, I was just
yeah.
checking things
You're
out.
like, go ahead.
No, keep talking. I'm totally paying attention. Jimmy?
Kourtney
Jimmy?
Kardashian. No, I was
Jimmy,
totally,
where's my sandwich? No, keep talking. Jimmy! Jimmy!
totally listening to you.
Yes. So, Andrea,
Yes,
thank you so
Andrea.
much for
No,
coming.
she was great. I thought she was great, and it's. Oh God, I'm so glad I didn't have to do that in front of those 4 judges. Yikes!
Yeah, I'll
and then
bet.
all the other comedians
It's
are
tough.
watching you. Yeah, I thought she was good, and I you know, it's hard, especially when you have one judge that's just looking at you like,
Right.
Really? You know? Which
Yeah.
I don't like. Did Heidi say what? I think they all liked her. Was it Heidi
I
that
think
was
Heidi was probably like, I don't know Heidi.
right? Which, you know,
Yeah, I don't know.
Wendy, you're in. You're in.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
You got thumbs up. I thought
You
she was
got
very
thumbs
good.
up.
I thought she's done better. I thought it threw her a little bit not having an audience, but I get
Yeah,
that. Stand up
sure.
is a live performance, and one that more so than most is built off of that.
Yes, you're building a rhythm from
yeah.
the audience, and when there's no laugh to lead you into the next joke, it's very disorienting.
Right. So I get that.
Yeah.
And then we had after her Joe Matarese, I believe you pronounce it. And unfortunately, he did not have a good set.
Yeah, and I loved his first set. I loved the joke about, like, I got 2 kids, I walk out of the door without them. I'm like, what is this, the Bahamas? I love that joke.
He had some good stuff. Now it was just,
yeah,
he had some setups, and then he moved on to the next joke.
Or you know, what it seemed like is sometimes when you have a joke, when you're working on a joke, and you just have this small punchline, and then as you work month after month, you build that into a larger punchline, and it was almost like he had a slight punchline, but then you thought it was going to go into something bigger, and then it didn't.
Right.
So,
and maybe don't have those jokes you're working on at your second audition, second
that
round.
was me. That was me writing in my hotel room for the third, and then. Well,
it worked out for you. Well,
yeah,
you
I mean,
actually didn't. Who knows what would have happened? Maybe you would have gotten there.
No, I mean, I didn't have any material I'd been doing for 10 years with
Right.
6,000 different impressions, so I had to write something new.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, that is the trick. The 90 seconds is the hardest thing that you will ever have to do as a comedian, is getting all that into 90 seconds.
Right.
So,
he just,
you know, I mean, it'll be interested to see. They didn't make a decision yet on his fate, correct?
I don't think so.
No, so we'll find out.
Right, I was surprised. I thought they were going to send him home right away, but they didn't.
They're going to weigh both and see.
We'll see, but I don't think he did a great job. And then after him, we had the
John?
miscellaneous.
Juan Carlos.
The miscellaneous.
Okay,
Juan Carlos.
Don't
who-
even get me started. I could watch this man
Yes.
all day. Could you not?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
and here's the thing.
this is my kind of humor. Take it or leave it. I thought it was the best.
I agree completely. I thought he was incredible. Juan Carlos, for those of you who may not remember, both rounds came out on rollerblades in a shiny outfit and just
A bedazzled unitard almost.
and he just danced rollerbladed to different songs. And it's hilarious.
Not
and I get it.
exquisitely, might I add. I mean, just with energy and flair and nothing major, nothing from the Olympic trials or anything like that. And that's what was so wonderful about it.
Yes. It's 100% commitment.
It was kind of some of the moves I used to do in our 3-car garage in Michigan when I would put on my ice skating outfit and roller skate. I mean, I was trying to emulate those kind of moves back then. I just didn't know it would be Juan Carlos.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was hilarious, and I loved Howie getting enjoyment from him. And then Howard didn't feel him, which I don't get.
Which is weird, because that's the type of guy Howard would have on his show.
I know, exactly.
You have a guy who comes and farts into a microphone, yet you can't give Juan Carlos a minute. But
so we both vote yes.
Yes, we're letting one. I honestly, in this
Could you
category,
imagine him at Radio City Music Hall?
I think he's going. Honestly, I think they're going to fight for him.
They cannot take him there. Remember,
I think he's
didn't Howie say, "I'll drive him"?
Right, yes. Howie said, "I will drive him." Because I feel that in this category, I think it's going to win out. I think that they're going to work it. This category was a little weird. After him, we had John Narum. Exactly. So after him, we had... We're going to take a Rosetta
Stone class after this. Okay.
I don't quite remember what John Narum...
God, that's horrible.
He was the yo-yoer.
Yes, right.
He yo-yoed.
Yo-yoer.
And it was cool, but it's yo-yos. But it was fun.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about him.
Right.
After him, we had Loop Rollins. Loop Rollins.
There's a lot of different genres within this comedy, isn't
well,
there?
I
like
figured that they moved on from comedy and it was the miscellaneous category. We don't know where to put these people in. Loop is a man I won't say too much bad about, because if he hears me, he might shoot me with a flaming gun.
Light your hair on fire.
Loop, you were great. He came out, his guns literally were ablazing. He had guns on fire and he had tricks with them. Then he did more rope tricks on fire. It was fun. I didn't think it was, I thought it was an step from 1 to 2, whereas at this stage, I feel like you should be at least 1 to 3, 1 to 4 of stepping it up from your last thing. And I felt like he just went a little bit above.
If he had come out on rollerblades with those guns ablazing, I would
and
be,
a mustache.
it would be 2 yeses from this table.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
So let's move on to the mighty Adam Jr., a strong man.
93
years old.
Which tells you that, if you believe it in your head, anything could happen, right? Your brain controls everything, really. Your mind. That's what we're watching in all these movies now.
Right. Blimey crikey.
Yeah. So that was, they were like, "Are you okay?" Like the whole time in the truck.
It was great. He pulled the truck with his teeth on a chain.
5,000 pounds.
5,000 pounds plus Heidi, but her head's mostly full of air, so she's probably like 90 pounds. Mel B, Howard, Howie, and his little brother was driving, whose little brother has to be like 90.
Say his little brother Nick Cannon.
Little brother Nick Cannon. I forgot about Nick Cannon.
Who has the hottest job of all.
He really does.
The show. Yeah, that was amazing.
Yes.
I love seeing anybody over 60 on that show, really.
He was great. And I have a feeling, maybe I'm wrong, but they checked him out. He seemed like maybe he was a little hurt. I have a feeling that's part of his act. You're
like, I have a feeling that sweating, pulling 6,000 pounds, he's
almost
just
dying.
Putting that on.
But he's probably really 23.
It's so manufactured, you can tell.
Well, I feel like you have to build up because next time,
what is he gonna do? Like move the entire?
He's going to move the Empire State Building with his teeth.
Yeah, and I just I'm rooting for him, but then at the same time I'm like, oh no, don't! Can't you just? But that's what keeps him alive. That's why he's 93.
Right, exactly.
Doing what he loves. You got to do what you love.
You
right?
do.
You got to go do it, no matter what anyone else says. Okay.
Do it.
Do it.
Next, we had JD, the strongman.
Right.
He
Why do I have the Iceman down here?
Well, because he was a strongman that juggernauted through some ice.
Oh, right. Thank you. See my handwriting.
Yeah, he ripped apart a book, and then there's blocks of ice, and he just...
I wonder what he had to think of to be so angry before he came out.
He probably was like, "It's so cold. I hate ice." Or
I'm hot.
Yeah, maybe he thought he was hot. Or maybe he's like, Anna was right. Elsa's a witch. Right. Ice. And just smashed right through it because the cold never bothered him anyway.
Right.
So it was cool. I don't care to see anymore because I just don't care.
Right.
But it was cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Now we have singers.
We have singers.
And I do want to save one of them. The first one I would like to save for last because I'd like to get a little bit more into that. But let's go into Carly Joe Jackson.
Carly Joe Jackson.
She was just a mediocre singer. She sang Gautier's Somebody That I Used to Know.
Right.
I just thought, exactly.
Sorry, oh my God, I feel terrible. Oh, yes. She had the gladiator shoes on and she was playing the guitar.
Yes, and she just said...
Yeah. She was good.
Okay.
Right.
It's like they said, she was a good singer, but I could hear her in any coffee shop. I agree with the judges with that.
Yeah, it's hard to,
Yes. And we had Anna Glendening.
She's the one that has the anxiety disorder where she gets anxiety about being out in public in social situations. So she had a little panic attack before she went out.
Right.
And Mel was making the point that, when you cry, it is almost impossible to sing after you've been crying. It is. I was actually amazed that she got back on her feet and sang.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'll give her that.
Yeah.
Completely. And if you're judging on what you think she can do, great, pass her through. I personally felt like she did an impression of Tori Amos doing Imagine Dragons as Bone Thugs and Harmony.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Through it.
And...
Exactly, word for word, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say that exact same thing. Yeah, I felt that, I don't know, maybe she was trying to speed it up to make it her own. I don't know, but it did feel a little bit rushed to me. Like it just felt a little chaotic, and I'm sure that's because she maybe had that moment. But
It's tough to say,
tough.
especially because I feel like that song. I don't like a lot of songs that are on the radio, but I really
don't
like.
either. Oh my God.
Yes, go us.
I thought it was because I was old. Okay.
No, well, I'm also old, but
I'm like,
no,
that's a sign that I'm getting
a lot of it just isn't
Every
very
time
good
I
anymore.
turn that, I'm like, no.
Nope,
Yeah,
bad. But I do like Imagine
like that
Dragons a
song.
lot, and I like Radioactive, and it's a powerful song, and I
Yeah.
just felt the way she did it, she took all the power out of it.
That's the
So I just
danger
didn't
in
think it
picking a really
worked.
popular song, right?
Right. And then also, like they said, if she's this nervous with no audience there, what is she going to do if she gets to Radio City Music Hall? So we'll see what happens. I'm very interested. Then we had Kelly Glover, who made it to Vegas in 2009 and didn't make it through.
Right.
I thought she did a really good job.
But she did an amazing job.
Yes. So I could see her going through. I definitely thought she was great.
I loved her voice. I loved the quality of it. I could listen to her all day. I was like, and I was happy again that she wasn't over singing. And yeah, I thought she was one of the strongest of all the singers.
Yeah, she was good. So I want to talk now about Emily West, who was the last we haven't talked about, but the first in this group. And you hold her close to your heart.
Oh, I love her. You know, I tweeted, I try not to tweet too much about the contestants. Not that anyone knows who I am, but, you know, I just don't want to, because people are like, who's your favorite? But I had to tweet something to her, and she responded, you know, right away, which was, it seemed like that's kind of her character. She takes you on a journey. She takes you somewhere from the first word that comes out of her mouth. She is not just presenting her voice. She's in the song.
Yes.
She's in the story, and you can't help but go there with her. I love her. Love her. Love her.
I agree. I thought she was really good. And yeah, at first, Brandon, when she first auditioned, Brandon James was in studio and said that she's very good, but he has a bunch of her albums. She's big, she tours, so it's weird that she's on this show. But then when they showed a little more of her backstory, they said that she got dropped from her record label. So maybe she's having a little more of a tough time of it.
Yeah.
So I give her a little more slack for that.
Yes.
But I thought she was really good. Again, I feel like she can go right now and perform an entire show.
She's already there.
She was good. And there was something I wanted to say. We looked up, you specifically looked up, I did nothing, but you looked up some of the comments people have said about her performance, and people were talking about her hair and her looking like a hot mess. And I just want to say, as somebody who is very good at what he does, whatever it is that I do, who often doesn't look great, just, I'll give it to her. Like, she's an amazing singer, and that's style. It's
Here's
fashion.
the
It just
thing,
upsets
too.
me.
You know what? She reminds me of this sort of like Janis Joplin kind of energy where
Yes.
she is her own person. She has her own style, thank God. And she doesn't look like the Kardashians. You know, it's like she
Right.
looks like her own person. And that's something that is, to me, so unique nowadays when everyone's wearing the same thing, the same hair, and
Right.
the same makeup. What was I going to say about her? But, anytime that the thing is, I used to put up my videos and it'd be like all positive comments of my stand-up, like, great job, Angela, blah. When you get up to this level where you've gone from maybe hundreds or thousands of people seeing you to millions, you're going to get a lot more love and you're going to get a lot more hate.
Right.
And it's just part of it. And I know this is blatantly obvious, these facts, but it's just a reminder to these people that, you stay off YouTube. That's all I can say.
Yes.
You're going to be tempted and say, let me look at my performance. Let me see what I can change. Let me see what I can fix. Because we're all our own worst critic. And I always look at my performance and go, oh, I thought I was doing this and I wasn't. But stay off YouTube and just stay positive, because there are people that really just make their whole existence by saying negative things. And
Yes.
you always have to remember, the person that is insulting me, do I respect them? Are they in my line of work? If they're not, then
Exactly.
cut your losses and move on.
I think that's
you know?
great. I just hate when people come out and it's not, she was a good singer, this. It's, she looked bad or whatever.
Exactly.
She didn't come out and
State
say.
your opinion, but
right.
you don't have to be,
You don't have to be a jerk about it. She didn't come
Right.
out and say, hi, my talent is I do my own hair. Then you can say, maybe you're not very talented at
See,
it.
I loved her hair. I was
I did
glad she
too,
didn't have
but-
it like straight ironed or,
But I just hate that things like
Yes.
that come into play.
And it's part of it. I mean,
It is. Oh, I
it's
know.
Just,
As
people
a-
thought like, oh my God, people would say things like, she's complaining that she has kids. And you're like, what? You know, they would just make things up. And I remember the first time I
they're
saw it,
jokes.
it was
They're
very
called jokes.
upsetting, you know, because you're like, you know, and then you just realize these people are just, you know.
Yeah, exactly. The first time
Enjoy.
I got criticism. Somebody said, you know, that try harder. You're not very good at what you do. Give up. And I was just like, look, Mom, it's tough what I'm doing.
Lay off me for one
Right,
evening
exactly.
till I get home.
Yeah, I couldn't be serious
Okay.
too long. I had to throw a joke in there somewhere. Well, that is the end of what we had tonight.
I can't believe we got through all the people.
I know,
it seemed
it's
like there were so
crazy.
many.
I wish
That was a great show.
It was a great show. I wish we had even more time to talk to you. Hopefully you'll come back because it was really great having you.
It was great being with you.
Oh,
Really.
thank you so much.
I feel so fortunate that I got to be with you, Daniel.
Oh, this is perfect. We'll have to make sure that Corey and Kevin don't show up more often.
Yes.
And we can just have the two of us. Please check us out. Please check out Angela. She is very talented. She has some great stuff up. You can check her out online at angelahoovercomedy.com, on Twitter at angelahoover07. Please check her out. For me, you can check me out at It's Daniel Weiss on Twitter, and you can check out my improv group, Doctor Who Live, on Facebook. Thank you so much. Please come back next
Yay.
time. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you all.
Woohoo.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Need to at the end.
Buzz you later, Harrison Ford.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.